The following live stream may include adult language and themes. How can we know for sure? Hasn't happened yet. Anyway, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, hello.
Hello and
Hello.
welcome.
Hi, hello.
Hi, everybody. This
Maybe.
is not our normal streaming night, but life be lifin'. And we had to reschedule the last session of our Old Gods of Appalachia game. So here we are. That's what we're here to do tonight on this a Monday. So strange. This is Tabletop Turntable, Grimstone Gaming Show, where we spin for you different tracks of TTRPGs featuring a rotating cast of game masters and players. We are playing Old Gods of Appalachia. That's Tom. Take it away, Tom.
Hey. All right, so we are in the final. We are in the finale here. So just because it has been close to a month since we actually played the last session, we'll do a quick recap and then we'll start into it. So basically, long story short, our group of ne'er-do-wells and residents of the small town of Blackridge, North Carolina, had been what's the word I'm looking for? Had been called in by the Gideon Logging Company to check out some crazy stuff happening in the new part of the forest that they were clear cutting. Some crazy stuff happened. They found some gruesome sights with trees and plants and dead bodies. There was throwing of books to knock down pine cones. There were grasping vines. And there was some fighting against some tree-like zombies. Good times. The group did pretty dang well with that. Everybody went back up into town. They did a little bit of investigating. Went to the farmers market. Augie leaned on some contacts there. You guys got a bit of information about what was going on. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, through some history and some reading, you figured out the whole deal between the Walker family and the devout within the town back in the 1800s. And at the tail end of the last episode, Augie was forcefully removed from the rest of the party, being pulled by vines and roots into the earth, and pulled away, seemingly to the Heart Grove, where the Black Pine resides. And that was where we left off. So I'm going to read this nice little introduction, sort of fill out the rest of this little vignette that's been happening at the beginning of each episode, and we will jump in there. So starting from the beginning. Excuse me. In the winter of 1834 was the worst the settlement had seen in years. After a less than optimal harvest and an early frost, the dominoes began to fall in an elaborate pattern that touched every soul within its boundaries. The winds howled down off the ridge like the Highland banshees of old, casting a dark cloud over the holler, and yet the Walker clan on the edge of the settlement stood fast in their pine grove. The black pine stood like a sentinel next to their hearth, creaking like old wood in a slow wind. Now, some folks in the settlement spoke of a song that floated amongst the trees on the winter winds late at night, low and lonesome voices that were both foreboding and enticing. Others spoke of dreams about a green lady who spoke to them in a tongue they couldn't understand, a tongue that Christians ought not know. The preacher called it witch song, said it was the work of the root devil, the forest temptress, she who walks beneath bough and bone, said it was the source of their hardship, and like the old growth forest on the edge of the settlements, his words took root. Fear and hunger make quick bedfellows, and the preacher's words found willing ears. Men came up the hollow with iron axes, salted torches, and guns heavy with shot. They tramped over the graves of the walker dead, cut down young trees, and spilled pine pitch on the soil like blood from an open wound. The grove wailed like a wounded animal, the wind tearing through its boughs like a voice that was not wholly wind, and the ground shuddered like a heaving breath racked with sorrow and rage. They found Uncle Eli in the clearing, arms spread wide before the heart tree, singing the old names. They cut him down where he stood. Miriam Walker wept into the roots, her blood seeping into the frozen earth, whispering to the pine a promise of return. Fire took the grove that night. Holy fire, the preacher called it. But the black pine did not burn. Its bark blistered, its sap ran thick and amber as honey, and the ground shuddered underfoot. Then came the songs, two voices braided together. The Walker women keening grief, and something older, deeper, answering beneath the soil. They bound her with ash and iron, nailed 3 stones into the earth over her heart. The preacher prayed over them until his voice was raw, swearing by God himself that the thing would never rise again. The men left before dawn, believing the hollow was empty. But those who know the old ways say she still wept there, down among the roots, dreaming of the day the axe would bite again and the stones would crack. And the forest remembered. So, as the 4 of you see Augie get pulled into the ground and taken in the direction in which the vast majority, if not all of you, know where this grove would be, what do you do? He does not go in anguish or in pain. He sort of says, it's okay. Let it happen. He gets pulled in. What do you guys do?
Follow.
Is a unanimous follow?
Like where he's going, not like into the earth or
Right. He said
In
it
the
was
direction
clear it
of the
was in the
grove.
direction that anyone who
Right,
knows
right,
where
right.
the grove is, that's where the grove is, in that
Yeah.
direction. So yes,
Correct.
follow in that sense as we're going that direction.
Yeah. Don't wanna don't want to be subterranean this evening.
Ah,
At first, Simon like turns around like I'm done with this, but as soon as he sees Mabel going in that direction, it just becomes like a full turnaround, and he starts walking, hoping no one saw him actually turn around and get ready to leave.
Let's do
just
it.
gonna start strolling behind.
Oh, you're underground, my dude.
I'm underground.
Oh, you are.
Augie is not the preacher.
Sorry, I forget who's who. We haven't played in a long time.
I'm not confused for once.
Nick is Simon. George is Edward Lee Smith. James is Moxley Cartwright. And you're Mabel.
That I did know.
And I'm Augie. Augustus.
Right.
Augustus Glute, indeed.
Mabel, suppose that we do get to where he's going. What are we going to do? He's the only one of us that seems to have any haintables. I don't magic. I don't intend to. I'm with you.
Well, he did describe that there's a ritual and he's the one who knows how to do it. So ideally, if he ends up where we need to be for the ritual to be performed, if we are also there, then we can help should it require more than one person. And I believe it does require more than one voice, if I remember correctly. Or if something goes wrong, we can try to save him. So he says this is right. This is the right direction. I'm going to keep supporting him and see this through to the end.
It was my first thought as well.
Of course it was.
See it through to the end.
Yes. Commitment.
Moxley, are you coming? It looks like you're hesitating. I suppose you probably want to turn and run.
Oh, heck no. I got to write this down. My editor's never going to believe this. But it's going to be front page news.
Is that all you can think about right now when your friend is in danger?
Friend's a strong word, but
Oh my God.
Look, I miss my job. I tell people what's going on in the world, and so yeah, I want to get this out there. It's my job, my calling.
Yes, well, we can't all be called to important things, I suppose.
I guess not. Let's move on.
Might as well.
We will smash cut to Augie. You've been pulled through soil and root and rock and all of that, and are pulled out into this grove, battered, a little bruised, but not too worse for wear. And being partially held up.
Sorry.
Being partially held up by the roots, you see a large pine tree with black bark and pine needles that look as though they've been slightly singed in some way, shape, or form. And lo and behold, as well, you see Miriam Gideon. She is there holding pieces of paper, likely the pages that had been ripped out of the journal from earlier that you found in the old foundation. She sees
I knew she was
you.
going to be the bad guy.
Wait,
Why'd she even call
wait.
us anyway?
Miriam Gideon or Miriam Walker?
Miriam Gideon.
Okay. Just making sure.
The woman from the
The
beginning.
woman from the beginning. Okay. Well, don't this beat all?
She looks to you and says, "What are you fitting to do?
Well,
I'm here to end this. It can't come back."
I suppose we're here kind of for the same thing in a roundabout sort of way. I'm just feeling like it might be a little bit different consequentially, because you know that it's never going to stop, actually, right? And the only, you can avoid all this by just not cutting out here, right?
It ain't got nothing to do with our cutting. And you know that, Augie.
Well,
The walkers, they did this to this town. My family, they stopped it.
no.
It's up to me to stop it
That's
again.
actually not what happened. And me and my associates have gathered evidence to prove the contrary, actually, in the form of quite a few journals. I see you got some pages there. I'm mighty curious how you came about those and not the rest, but we can cross that bridge at a later date. As this conversation is happening, I would like to use one of my ciphers. Is this something, because the way it's described, the use is the leaf, the Greek gift of the green. So I'm wondering if I can be doing that while I'm talking. Is that a thing?
Sure. What's the cipher that you're looking to use?
So it's the gift of the green is a D6 plus 2. It's a large leaf pressed between pages of books. And I rub them together until they crumble into dust. And then for a number of hours equal to the cipher level, I gain an asset in all tasks related to the green.
You can 150% do that.
Cool. So as I'm like having this conversation, I'll just kind of casually pull this out. The casual witchcraft. Oh boy, that is 5.
I believe
3 plus 2.
I believe I threw what the level of the cipher was into the.
Oh, is it in the chat?
It is. Let's see. Let's scroll up to this spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to dig.
It is. I know I put it in there somewhere. Yes. Gift of the Green, level 5. Gift of the Green.
Sweet. So for 5 hours, I have an
Plenty of
asset.
time.
Can you break down for me what an asset actually translates to? Is that just
means,
like
that means it eases 1. So
Cool.
anything. So if it was originally a challenge rating of 5 to do something, it's automatically already a challenge rating of 4. It drops down, and then you can use whatever else your
Nice.
character sheet allows you.
Sweet, cool. Thank you. That's what I thought. I just wanted to hear it in those exact words. It was your ancestors that came chopping and burning and taking and hurting. And
Was to protect Black Ridge.
no, it wasn't. It was because you were scared of. It's because they were scared of stuff that they didn't understand, and you're repeating the exact same mistake that they made. And I'm telling you, Miss Gideon, it's going to be worse this time around.
Cycle has to end, Augie. It has
I
to end.
agree. We have to make amends here, Miss Gideon. The green was here before all of our people, and it's going to be here a long time after all of us.
No. She pulls out what looks like an iron stake and begins to cover it in pine pitch and starts to pull out a book of matches. It looks as though she's going to try and burn this tree.
Where is she? Like geographic? Like what's the scene?
Tree in front of you, she is to your right by about 5 feet. There's not a whole lot of difference. The pine is attached to you and is basically being like, "Let me out."
Okay.
Let me out. I'll deal with her. Is basically not in so many words, but the pine is basically in so many words. It's basically saying, "Let me out."
I'm gonna use my other cipher.
Okay.
My hot foot powder.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see her acting a fool. That's foolish, and you're about to look more foolish. And I'm gonna just chuck that hot foot. That's how it works, right? It's a jar, right? Yeah. Toss it a short distance away to disperse the powder into the air. All living creatures within the immediate area will flee in random directions out of fear for a number of rounds equal to the cipher level.
Okay.
It's a jar containing a blend of black pepper, salt, spices, and ground up bugs. Legitimately something I could have in my house right now.
Probably do.
Indeed. What's the level of the cipher?
It is a D6 2.
All right. So for 20 seconds, she's gonna bolt.
Cool.
However, just describe the scene to me. You toss it, and what's going on?
I'm gonna try to get in between her and the tree as best I can, body block, and I'm gonna endeavor to keep her away from the tree.
All right.
Yeah.
Throw it down.
Smash.
She begins to run in a just random direction. She just runs away from you. However, this bottle of pine pitch that she's been using like a jar, as she's running, She tears off a piece of her clothing, jams it into it, lights it, and throws it behind her as she's running. Now, totally up in the air if she hits anything worth hitting and burning. But we'll say as she's throwing, that is when the rest of your party comes through the edge of the forest into the grove, and you see this scene happening. Augie is still kind of partially like almost attached. I would say, Augie, you kind of feel it a little bit like in your back, and
Yeah.
it's not like integrated into you, but you're like, you can definitely feel the power of the pine sort of coursing through you a little bit. He's there. You see this powder. She's running, but this is like mid arc of throwing like basically like a hillbilly Molotov cocktail over her head back towards this massive black pine tree. What would you guys like to do as you see? And this is literally what you're walking into.
Can I whip out my pistol and try to shoot her in the shoulder so she drops the fireball on herself instead?
She has already thrown it. If you want to try and shoot it in midair, I'm more than happy to let you do that if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna like run in front of Mabel and kind of get down on one knee to like line my shot up. And
I'm gonna call it out to you to aid you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna like turn to her and be like, I've trained for this moment, which is not true. And then I'm gonna like,
You got it, boy.
get on one knee and look and shoot. And the preacher who gives me bonuses,
His encouragement is true and earnest.
is encouraging me in this shot because I really want to show up Moxley. If he's gonna have to write about the article's gonna have to be about how this librarian was the best shot he's ever seen.
Librarian shot wildly into the air, missing everything.
And while I'm like making a scene, can I send
Dewey?
my critter companion, Dewey,
Mm-hmm.
to like start running at her to like crawl up her pants and distract the hell out of her?
I'm not opposed to that in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, great.
All right, so this shot is going to be a challenge rating of 5.
This is very quickly taken on. You ever watch like The Rescuers? Like the older Disney movies that were a little bit more mature, you know, like it had like the villains getting eaten by crocodiles and shit. Like that's what this scene all of a sudden looks like, is this old woman running because there's bug powder everywhere and a squirrel trying to get up her trousers.
Okay, so I have to remember how all of this is done. So I am trained. I'm practiced with this gun.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't add an asset one way or the other.
Okay.
So, but it's basically saying like, you know, you can use it without any sort of like detriment.
And then what does the preacher do for me? +1?
Adds 1 to the roll.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm rolling a d20?
D20, and you want to get 15 or higher.
Okay. With the preacher makes it 14.
No, the preacher just adds 1 to the rolls.
Okay. So the preacher adds 1.
Which can be good. That certainly can't hurt.
I also have a thing called advantage. When you use an XP to roll a d20 for any roll that affects you, the task is always eased.
Sure, you use a speed a speed point to.
This says XP.
Yeah, you can use an XP.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll use an XP. So what does eased mean?
It just means it drops it down to a 4. So it'll be
Okay,
12.
so now I need a 12 or higher.
Correct.
Solid.
And then can I also use points? Like my pool? I can use 3. Is it 3 points to add 1?
3 points from the speed pool to add effort.
Uh-huh.
Sure, you can. Absolutely. Do you have an edge in speed or no?
Oh, no.
Okay, but it still costs 3. I would just
Okay.
if you had an edge, it would have cost.
It only costs 2, right?
Yeah. So
Oh, right.
3 from the speed, 1 XP. It'll drop it down to a 9 or higher that you need.
Okay. And I get +1 from the preacher.
Correct. So really,
Okay.
you just need to roll an 8 in order for this to succeed.
Get my dice tower thing here. That is a 17 +1 is an 18.
Yay!
Okay. That is the special roll. 17,
Ooh,
18,
that's
19,
right.
and 20. Those are special rolls in the Cypher system. So
Take that,
I'm going-
Moxley.
Later that day, Simon would find a horseshoe lodged firmly up his ass.
I am going to give you the option here as part of this special roll. You do make the hit. Are you can either hit the flaming piece of clothing that would turn it into an incendiary, and you shoot it in such a way that sort of like blows it out so that it doesn't crash and become like a firebomb, or you can hit it in such a way that it redirects it and it explodes further away from where its intended target would be.
Let's put it out.
Okay.
Just so no collateral damage stuff happens, and because Dewey's on that way as well.
Solid.
I want whatever these spirits to see that we're not trying to start more fires.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you see Simon get down on one knee. You see the little mouse scurry out from his bag and is hopping through the grove trying to go towards Miriam. Aims, fires. The bullet, it looks like it misses the actual jar, but you see the flame that was starting to catch in the pine tar. You can see it go almost sort of like like throwing something through like smoke or whatever. You see like just it poosh and it pops. The flame goes out. It still does crash onto the ground. So just out of curiosity, Augie, evens or odds?
Odds.
Hell yeah. It crashes maybe about 5 feet in front of you. It doesn't make it all the way to where the tree would be anyway. So you see this pine tar sort of like splay out in front of you, but doesn't end up actually getting close to you. So that's what you see. There's probably about 5 or 6 seconds left in Miriam fucking bolting before she's going to come out of the effect of the hot foot powder. What do the rest of you guys do as you see Simon make this ridiculous fucking shot?
Simon tries to act cool, but he is completely unable to do so, and just is flabbergasted that he made that shot.
I mean, I was helping Simon, so
Hell yeah.
just talking him up. Steady as she goes.
Just rubbing his shoulders a little bit.
Yep.
I'll kind of blow my
Just
pistol out towards
feel the
Moxley,
Holy Spirit enter you, boy.
spin it and kind of put it back in its holster, and thank the preacher, and turn to Mabel and kind of like wink. I don't know what to do now.
Record all this for posterity until I see whether or not Gideon's going to turn around and stop running.
Right on. Not too long after this, Gideon does indeed stop and turn on her heel and begin to speak. I would say, Pastor Ed, you would recognize this type of. She begins to recite this sort of prayer or invocation, very similar to like an exorcism type of thing. Like she is going hard trying to stop this pine from doing something that it's not supposed to. But she turns and she's reading off of these sheets of paper that she has in her hand.
Oh man, not to be outdone, I'm going to draw my pistol and try and fire it at the sheets of paper in her hand.
Holy shit! Did not see that coming.
Everyone's just pulling out guns. This is North Carolina, so it makes sense.
Augie is not. Augie is probably going to turn his attention immediately to the pine, and I wanted.
Pine is still pushing to be let out.
Oh, I know. So Augie's immediately just going to kind of like turn and sort of capitulate into the roots of the pine and place his hands on the bark and just start. He just starts singing that lullaby. Because that's all I can think to do at this precise moment. But I'll let some other folks do things. I'll just let folks do other things.
Instead of firing right away, I'd like to just like pull out the pistol, and also in my other hand, I'll have one of my ciphers, which is a revenge toad. And just be like, Miss Gideon, I'm going to advise you to stop what you're doing right now, because otherwise you're going to get the wrath of not only hot metal, but also a very angry amphibian.
I gotta look up.
She doesn't understand because it literally is just a stone that's in like, I'll describe it,
faintly frog shaped.
A river stone that appears to be in the shape of a toad.
Nice.
Have you ever seen that episode of South Park where Butters keeps trying to shoot people, but he keeps accidentally shooting them in the crotch? And Cartman's like, we're not going to do it this way, Butters. This isn't how we do it. And every time he shoots his gun, it just shoots someone right in the crotch. I'm hoping that's what happens here. And we're all like, oh, Moxley, no. That's not how we want to do this.
Do that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
All right. She's paying you no heed, Moxley.
All right. Well, instead of being particularly lethal, I'm going to put the revenge toad stone in the palm of my hand and whisper her name, and then try and huck it at her head as hard as I can.
Double damage.
While it's flying towards her, it will turn into a toad that's about 3 feet high and attack her with a flick of its tongue.
No shit! Are you kidding me?
The attack inflicts damage equal to the cipher level, which is 1d6 plus 3, and hinders all of their actions for the next round.
That's the craziest shit that I've ever heard.
This is great. We went from horror to like Looney Tunes. I'm loving it.
Pokemon! They're like, revenge toad! I choose you!
My cipher gave us protection from acid, and his turns into a giant frog that eats people.
Welcome to the Old Gods of Appalachia.
That's right. The skeptical reporter has the revenge.
I can just imagine this poor rat seeing this frog fly over his head.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Those bananas.
All right. This is what we're going to do.
Cool.
I need you to make me a a speed roll to see if you can line her up. It's still going to hit, but if you can line it up good enough, there's going to be some extra interesting stuff that happens.
We love extra interesting stuff.
There's already extra interesting stuff. There's going to be more.
Love it.
What's the challenge?
Challenge is going to be 4.
Okay, so that's 12. I will use 3 speed points to make that a 3, right?
Yes, you got it.
Can I spend XP to increase my effort as well?
XP for effort? No, I don't believe so.
All right.
It's
Then we'll just make
it's cool, yeah.
We'll just make it a 9. Because I don't think there's anything else I can do. Nope. Okay. That's a natural 20.
Okay, another fucking special roll here.
I don't know. This
Everything's
keeps
fucking coming
happening.
in clutch.
Sometimes the dice
love
want to
this.
tell the same story we do.
I love it. The dice are like, we got limited time. Let's make this shit count.
Let's go big. This is so
Can't wait to see
funny.
what I roll on my proposal to Mabel.
Are you willing to
Oh.
move here permanently? Because that'll get you advantage on that roll or something.
I mean, Simon already lives there, so. All
Oh, I
right.
didn't know if he was
It's
living
like
here
the library.
permanently.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So, not only does the Revenge Toad, you see Moxley huck this stone. Mid-air, it transforms into like this stone-colored, like abomination-looking toad. Just like mid-air, it's flying. This thing is headed straight for this lady's head.
Good.
Its
I was on
tongue
a baseball team in high school.
whips out, smacks the shit out of her. What's the level on the toad?
1d6 plus 3.
I believe I have it in the. Let's take a look here for Moxley.
Is that wrong? Because that's what I have.
Level 7. Holy shit! Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I was gonna
pre-rolled the
say
level.
mine is level 7.
Oh yeah, they were pre-rolled.
I
I
missed the
missed that.
pre-roll.
Yeah, that's why we went over that earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just 7 points of damage to this lady. Not only does this basically just knock the dog shit out of her.
Dentures.
It doesn't just slap her, it actually wraps its tongue around her head, and you see the frog or the toad attached to this lady's head. She goes down. Weakly, she's trying to get this thing off of her head.
Okay.
Okay,
And
she's
I'll
that's
turn
his
around.
turn.
She's hurting too. She didn't have a lot of hit points here.
Well, great.
Uh,
Maybe I can finish her off.
I'd like to turn around and tell
You're just
Mabel.
gonna murder the CEO of a fucking company that's in town. I'm digging it. You go fucking go hard.
I'd like to turn around and say, "Oh, Mabel, I told you I'd be back. I just didn't say when." No,
She's gonna ignore
no
this
good.
and whip out her little
right.
her notebook that
Mhm.
she takes notes whenever she has to like interview people. But she's going to draw a little stick figure instead, and this is Miss Gideon. So I'm going to use my level 7 witch petition, draw witch without lifting the pencil, tear the paper where you want to hurt her, and she takes damage equal to the cipher level. I'm just going to rip it down the middle.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I like
Okay.
trees.
Augie's being like me. All this shit is happening.
Plus, I
Yeah,
don't even have to get my hands dirty. I'm just doing it.
Augie's singing a fucking lullaby to a tree, and this CEO lady
Fight.
has at this point. I'm also going to say that Dewey has made it to her and has climbed up her pant leg, and she's freaking out with that as well. So this is like
Fucking her
the
shins
worst.
up.
Yeah, this is the worst day ever for this lady.
So glad we're protected from acid.
Mabel, I want you to describe to me.
Shit.
I mean, you kill this lady. I want you to describe to me how you kill this lady, because she was already really hurting, and then another 7 points of damage is going to put her way over the threshold for being living. So why don't you tell me how that happens?
Well, because we were talking about horror movies and it's spooky season and everything, I think what I'm seeing is that this, she is running without being able to control her body, and this frog is smacking her about the face with its tongue, its toad, sorry. And this little squirrely thing is like scritching at her face, all the things, and then all of a sudden from her underneath her shirt, blood just starts seeping out in her middle, and and her guts just start falling out. And
you see,
the end.
you see roots begin to come up from the ground and begin to pull her separated body down into the dirt.
It's one of those where it just like slices and she freezes for a second, and then the top half of her just slops off.
The pieces fall in opposite directions for some reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, the revenge toad is heavy, so the body goes, the head goes
makes
one
total
way.
sense.
Like that's perfect sense. Yeah, physics, right?
And
yeah.
and as it's being pulled in, the toad sort of like remorphs back into a stone, and it's just a stone now, but gets pulled in. Okay, so Gideon is no more. She's not even on the field at this point.
Oops, bye.
That's convenient. I have to deal with the body, I guess.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, and perhaps the green would like the sacrifice even more than the lullaby.
Well, how am I gonna? Oh, it's gonna be a tricky column to write now.
Yeah, you ain't putting that in your story, Raleigh.
No, she's gonna be missing.
I'll turn to Edward and just say, Father, is there anything in the Bible about all of that we just saw?
Not that I've ever seen.
I need to read it again. I don't
And
remember
I-
that part.
It's been a while.
Frogs somewhere down there. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they had their frogs, and I'm sure somebody got torn in half once.
I don't remember there being
Well,
a
that's true.
leg of being cut in half, but that's neither here
I don't
nor
know,
there.
man. Early Christians were brutal as shit.
All right.
Amen.
Hey, Augie.
Oh,
How
Augie,
things
you doing
going?
all right?
Augie, you get the distinct sense that Miriam Walker's blood has been spilled and is being essentially drank by the roots of this
Yum,
black
yum, yum,
pine.
yum, yum, yum.
It is not responding very well to your lullaby. You have three options, essentially. It is to burn the pine, to bind it so that it sleeps, or to free it. I'm assuming probably not going to try and burn the pine.
Correct.
Okay, so you've got the two remaining, bind or free. Now, you would know that binding the pine requires a willingly offered sacrifice.
Oh, whoops.
So either Miriam, while she was alive, yourself, or a party member who bears some type of mark of the green, to free the pine. The cost here would be that you yourself would become entwined with the spirit of the pine.
Oh. Wait.
I'm pretty
does
sure I
that
saw
mean you
that
become its,
Moxley
like-
has the mark of the green somewhere. We could.
Does that mean you become its avatar? Like you become the green? That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know. I mean, it does sound, that sounds more favorable to sacrificing anybody.
They already had it. So.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, so in my being connected with it, do I have any sense of if it's satiated, if it's feels that justice has been served, if it wants freedom for revenge, like,
Malicious.
you know what I mean? Yeah, like is the malice still present, or is the death of Miriam Gideon sufficient to find peace? I have. Let's see. Do I have any?
Essentially, it does not feel. I'm going to say that it is happy that the Gideon ancestor is no more, but in truth, it wants to be what it was 150 years ago, which was able to be part of the forest and the grove once more, to
Aw,
walk freely. So
I want that for it.
like binding it is essentially to recreate or to restore the old rites that happened before, basically sort of like making it trapping it in the pine or in the grove. What would happen if you let it out? The pine would walk you. I'll say you get like visions of what it is really truly looking for is that it walks. You see sort of this both uncannily horrifying but beautiful at the same time, like green woman walking through the grove again as a thinking entity, neither blight nor benevolent. And you see visions of it sort of remaking and reshaping the grove and the forest around it.
In a way that seems menacing, like it's taking it over, or in a way that seems harmonious.
Do I recall any stories or any we'll just stick with stories that that my mom used to tell me about the lady? Like any specific stories?
Why don't you give me an intellect check here? It's gonna start at 4, but with the green, since this does have to do with the green, it'll drop down to a 3. So 9 or above to start. If you want to add anything else, you can.
It's a 15.
Beautiful. Stories in particular about the Green Lady. You don't. She never told you stories about the Green Lady, but she always impressed upon you that nature is both beautiful and can be destructive. That essentially nature is metal as fuck.
Yeah, it's true. True story.
And so there are potentially good and bad outcomes from these natural sort of nature spirits walking among the living in current times.
Yeah, okay. That fits. I don't know that Augie feels close enough to anybody in the group to even like want to discuss it. So I hope that my fellow players don't take offense. But Augie's definitely going to free the green.
Yeah, that's what I.
And like he'll offer himself because he. I think this is the scene in the movie where he is seeing these images of what the Green Lady wants and remembering the messages and the values that his mother imparted on him. And then that line from the journal from the Walker matriarch, a promise of return, like Augie feels overwhelmingly compelled to enable that return. So he's going for it.
All right.
Can we also sacrifice Moxley, like for double point?
I don't get the Moxley hate. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't get it.
It's not hate, it's just a removal from the equation. I need Mabel more like.
I don't see an enemies to lovers trope happening with this particular pairing.
Never know.
It was really Moxley that he loved all along.
It's just
I'm trying to remove that which tempts me.
That's
Maple
that.
does want to have a conversation about what the hell that statement meant, though. Like, are you not going back to Raleigh? I have so many questions.
All right.
Which we wouldn't even have to ask if we sacrificed him to a tree.
All right.
I can't argue with that.
This is what we're gonna do.
Let's do.
Augie, I need you to make me. We'll go with intellect because this is more mind over matter type of deal. I need you to make me an intellect roll. To essentially see if you are able to successfully sort of bind yourself to the pine without losing your humanity.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
classic.
That makes sense. Can
you handle it? Can you
It is
stabilize?
initially would start without a smart idea using the cipher.
Thank you.
So it would have started as a 7, but it's going to drop to a 6. So the initial is a 6, which would be 18 or higher.
Okay.
You can use effort, and if you have anything within your toolkit that you think you could use, whether it be an ability or something else, if you can give me a good reason why it works, I'm happy to let you use it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is there any mechanic of helping in this? Is there anything any of us can do to try to make this more successful?
I'm going to say
Did I?
I'm more than willing to let you guys try and help.
Could I give him my cipher? My death scandal? Would that help him?
What
is
does the
it?
death candle do?
It says so it would only, from how I'm reading it, I think you have to be the one to light it, but light the candle while saying a prayer of protection. The candle burns for a number of rounds equal to the cipher level. During that time, you're protected from death or being moved down the damage track. While the candle burns, if you would normally die, you do not. Instead, reject all damage.
I think that's an interesting way. I wouldn't be opposed for you using that. I would say instead of rejecting all damage, we could use that as an asset to ease.
Okay.
I'm up for. I think everyone is smart enough to sort of see that Augie's going for. It doesn't look like he's trying to bind. I think he looks like he's going for the sacrifice play here. So I'm more than happy to let you guys try and help if you have a cipher or if you have an ability that you think would work. That can also help. And same for Augie if you have an ability or want to use effort or that sort of deal.
Yeah, I'll definitely use some effort. I have an edge in intellect, so I'll use 2.
All right, drop it down to a 5. We can use that death's candle and make it a 4.
Sweet.
If it's something that he needs to resist, resist the being taken over, I have intellect defense tasks I'm trained in. That's the only skill I think that would be relevant.
Sure. If you can explain to me how you would use that in order to help him, I'm more than happy. So think of it more as if you have something you can use, describe to me how you would use it that you think would pertain to the situation, and if it makes sense, then I'm down.
Well, having been trained in intellect defense tasks, I would perhaps know that maybe giving him grounding facts would maybe help him not forget himself. So while he's doing this, I might remind him who he is. Your name is Augie. Your mother's name was so and so. She was a healer. Things like that.
Down. We can use that as another ease. So that drops it down to a 3.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Where is the journal right now?
Which one? There's
Who
2.
has the like?
I think I have both of them. I'm not, to be honest. I feel like I have both of them.
Everybody was reading over his shoulder, but I think
Yeah,
Augie
because
had
I had
possession of
them. Yeah. Because I have the Walker one and the Gideon one. Minus the pages that old Biddy tore out.
Is there enough going on where I could go pretend to help him and take those 2 books?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very distracted. So
I don't see why not.
So I'm gonna go up to him and like try to be also helping like the way that Mabel is by I'm just listening to what she's saying and I'm like, yes, your mother was wonderful and oh yes, I want to be old friends. And I'm grabbing those 2 journals because I want to take them back to the library.
Okay.
I would have done, but that's fine.
Well, he doesn't know if it's going to work or not. So
Right, he doesn't want you to accidentally destroy them.
Sure. It's a
You could become a tree and those books disappear. Like I don't
You're
know.
right. You're right.
It's a good call.
Trained in mythology, can I search the recesses of my mind to see if I can come up with something that would help?
Sure. I'm 100% into it. If you want to describe to me the mythology that you use to try and help him, I'm gonna put that on you to describe, and we can.
So-
I'm down to let that happen.
So Moxley is from the area and spent a considerable amount of time studying local legends and stories about the green and the various other hainty things going on in the area. So I think he's heard some stories before about wandering spirits and whatnot, and maybe something in one of those stories would help him figure out what to do in this particular situation.
Which is what?
Let's see.
Make some shit up. I'm down.
Yeah. A nice warm hug. Really lets him know that he's still, no matter what happens here, he's still beloved by humanity and not to give up on us.
I could see that as another grounding technique, like make him very aware of his body and his corporeal being.
Hugs are awesome.
I'm down. So that's gonna drop it to a 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you need to do 6 or higher.
Excellent
in order-
teamwork, everyone.
Is this
Fantastic.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's him rolling, not me. So yeah, go ahead. Never mind.
All right. That is a 13. Lucky 13. Woo! Go team! I'm possessed now, but not really.
That's what Odessa says every day.
Right. So essentially what happens is y'all remember the very, very end of Avatar: The Last Airbender where he bends Ozai's energy.
Nope.
And that's okay. You don't have to. Look it up on YouTube or TikTok. There's 9 million clips of it out there. You can Google it later.
At least half
Totally
of them set to
fine.
Linkin Park music. It's fine.
Yeah, almost exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Minutes to Midnight over the top of it.
That's exactly what
But you see, essentially, without the light show, but sort of the same sort of idea internally, Augie is almost overtaken by the sheer pain and suffering of the spirit, but with the power and the grounding of his friends, except for Simon because he just wants the books. He's giving him a pat on the back, so I mean it's still
It
there.
counts. It counts.
It counts.
He'll appreciate the effort afterward. He'll be like, "Yeah, I could have destroyed those things. You should have taken them from me."
For sure. That grounding helps Augie to sort of stave off the almost corrupting nature of just like pure power and energy coursing through him. And as this sort of entwining completes, you begin to hear low at first, but growing in volume and intensity, is the deep and sudden sort of cracking and splitting of wood and timber as the black pines begins to crack and split up the middle and open up, backing pretty much everybody else that's close to Augie off. And for a moment at least, the four of you see again, uncannily sort of like eldritch sort of being of green light and energy, standing feet above the top of Augie's head and above you, flowing sort of almost vine and leaf and tendril like hair, more suggestion of humanoid figure and limbs and whatnot, face, a blankness of an area. Augie, you see this immense being of light and nature and sheer power in front of you, and it leans down very slowly and reaches out an appendage. It could be its hand, it could be part of its hair. It's tough to tell with what's going on, and it touches you between the eyes, essentially where like the third eye would be, right here. And you all see sort of a burst of bright greenish light, and once this light dissipates, Augie falls, not unconscious, but very weakened, down to the ground, and this spirit that you saw is no longer there, though you hear a less discordant but familiar melody amongst the breeze that sort of like flows through the grove.
You know what I could really go for right now? Those journals, where are they? I'm just kidding.
Cheeseburger?
Augie will pick himself up whenever he is able to. What is everybody else doing?
Checking on him, just making sure he's okay, making sure he remembers who he is, what year is it, who's the president, that kind of checking for concussion type questions.
Any of y'all have any Miracle Grow on you? I'm sorry, I'm just feeling I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Please tell me.
Just some potting soil, maybe. Yes, I'm kidding, y'all.
Yeah, there's a patch of sun over there.
What happened to old lady Gideon?
Nothing.
Oh no, I know she's dead, but like, what happened? Because I know that the tree got her. I could tell.
Yeah,
It
the
was
tree got
into
her.
that.
That's
Yeah, it was a
that's
tree.
the
Yeah.
whole story.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Man.
Right.
She was there, and
Mhm.
now she's gone.
Nothing
Well,
we
I
can
guess
do.
if you're all saying the same thing, then surely it must be true. So
We can't all be wrong. No, sir.
we're gonna have to warn folks that they're gonna have to be careful out here now. You know.
Why?
Well, nature isn't good or evil. It's indifferent and can often be cruel, and that is sometimes perceived as evil. And she's been bottled up a long time now. So there's probably a bit of aggravation. I'm sure we could all understand.
But
The folks
she's
in this
not
valley
evil.
she's not, but it wouldn't take much, as you well know, some foolhardy teenager carving his sweetheart's initials into the trunk of a tree could have much more serious consequences than a ticket, if you're catching
Oh,
my
well, that's
meaning.
a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. We can definitely, I can double down on park protection, do some extra rounds, make sure we're keeping all the riffraff from trespassing.
Being
Um,
honest, this is gonna make the papers. So
What is
well,
exactly?
about that, what are we gonna say happened to Gideon? Like, what are we gonna say happened out here? We can't say anything that's going to draw eyes to this place. You understand that, right, Moxley?
look, people already gone missing out here. Just one more.
That's true.
That's true. I just want to make sure that whatever story you decide to publish isn't going to turn into some kind of tourist flyer,
I
you
got
know,
it.
bringing everybody and their cousin down here trying to take their picture with the in the heart grove. You know what I mean?
Okay. I know a surefire way that we can avoid trouble. We are going to spin this as Miss Gideon made the noble sacrifice to protect the town. The end.
Well, the town, I mean, I don't know that the town's going to necessarily believe. I mean, if we tell the town that there's a tree spirit wandering around out here, I mean, I think that that's equally as dangerous as telling them, you know.
Well, not if we tell them it's gone now because of her sacrifice. Or we spin it as the Gideon company was doing all this in the first place. I don't know why. You can come up with motive, Raleigh. You're the writer. And that she was the reason for it all, and she hightailed it out of town when we caught scent of her deceit.
This is all well and good, but I don't tell fantastical tales. I tell the truth, and that's what I'm going to report.
What is the truth, Raleigh?
Not all truths are factual, you understand.
I see you, Simon. You're literally we're standing in a circle right now.
It's more. The power of friendship really persevered today.
Agreed. It was some great teamwork. Just write that.
Well, because all right, what happened here? Even your heroic rootin' tootin' fire gunplay there, Simon.
Well, I'm not going to give you permission to use my name or my family's name.
All right. Well, you never told me things were off the record, and that's an agreement that a source has to have with the writer. But maybe
What
we
are
can
you, a
change
lawyer?
some. No, reporter. That's a thing every reporter knows. That's not a lawyer. That's not a law. There's no law. Come on, we're not talking about lawyers. Listen, maybe I can change some identities to protect the innocent.
That's a good idea. Also, a good idea to remember what them papers is made out of.
I'll
Augie's.
use recycled pulp only. It's much cheaper.
Good. That's true.
especially back in the 80s,
Preacher, what do you make of this? You awful quiet. You comfortable with what's transpired?
There's some things that are outside of our hands. It's in God's hands.
I can appreciate that. Well, I suppose we should head back to town and they're going to come looking for Miss Gideon.
I got a lot of paperwork to do.
Are you able, as tree person now, could you release her body from the earth? Perhaps we have proof she's dead?
Might be better if we have no proof.
Is there no concern that her family or company will come tearing up the grounds looking for her?
No, I do have some concerns, but with the Green Lady walking free, I think that they should probably be more concerned.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to pretend like this is going to be the be-all, end-all with the Gideons. There's some echoes of that war still yet to be heard, I think. But I think we've done right by helping to tip the scales back in a more natural balance. And I don't know, won't pretend to speak for any of y'all, but I plan on sticking around to make sure it stays that way.
Well, son, I live here too.
We still got the matter of those bodies in the trees as well. Supposing that's evidence enough of something going out here that we might be able to convince him not to go digging up everywhere trying to find anybody's body.
Those bodies can be released to us?
Oh, I imagine we could probably get them out if we wanted to, but they're there,
Are you unable to talk to the spirit?
Yeah, do I get any sense of the tree spirit? Yeah.
You are entwined. You share some qualities with the spirit.
Is that something that I feel like I could manifest to get at least the workers' bodies released from the trees?
I think you could do that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then Augie will definitely do that. Well, I guess as we're making it, because this is all kind of in the same on that path, because we were headed to the apex of the grove. Yeah, Augie will do that. I don't think Augie wants to give Miss Gideon's body back, though.
It's all mauled up anyway.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's all good. She can stay gone. Ain't nobody gonna miss her.
Simon, you make sure to take care of those journals now. Yeah, I know you took them.
I absolutely will. They will be safely behind glass. You can visit them anytime that you would like. Reclaim them anytime that you would like, hopefully with discussion. And if all goes well, this will really give a boost to our library system.
Yeah. I think maybe you should get to talking with my friends back in town, Alistair and Vertibel, because they know a good bit about this particular part of the town's history. I think that might be a good way to educate some folks about the dangers that the woods can bring.
We can certainly make that a highlight of the exhibit.
All right.
Moxley, feel free to not change my name and include the address of the library and encourage anyone to come visit. It is a public resource after all.
I'll think about it.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I got a powerful hankering for some shoe fly pie.
I could go for a bite.
Yeah,
Coffee
Let's go get
hands
some
up pretty good.
yeah. Let's go get some pie
Damn fine coffee.
and some coffee. Yeah.
As the five of you leave the grove, we begin to fade to black to Lincoln Park's What I've Done.
Directed by Michael Bay.
What I've
Y'all see my OVA?
That's terrific. We did it! Woo! Thank you so much, Tom. That was super fun.
That was amazing. You guys did great in that.
That was nuts.
Awesome.
Tearing that
Rolls
lady in
today.
half with a
With a frog and the ripping it and voodoo ripping her in half. Fucking nuts, man.
that was bonkers.
That was
Special rolls,
bonkers.
natural 20.
Don't give a man a
17.
revenge toad and not expect him to use it.
Yeah, no. I was like, I gotta use both the ciphers.
Same. I was
Stop
like, I'm
what
gonna
you're doing
burn
right-
these.
Stop what you're doing now, or you'll have to deal with an ornery amphibian.
I wrote down haintables and revenge toad. Those were my two big notes tonight. It was haintables and revenge toad. And I drew a picture of the revenge toad.
Of course you did.
Right, yes.
Revenge Toad.
You love the energy when you know it's the season finale and you can just throw everything in your
Oh, yeah.
whatever's
Yeah.
happening.
This is a very cool system. I greatly appreciate you running it for us, Tom. I would love to play some more of this. This is just such a cool, the way that the system like just really pours itself into the role play aspect of the game is top drawer. I love it.
It is a fun time.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, hopefully there's a second arc with our 5 intrepid heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm certainly down. We'll get that on the books. We Meg and I were discussing that this past weekend. It was like, oh, we'll have to come up with another show. We'll do like what, like remixes,
No,
repeat.
Tracks on repeat.
we can just have sophomore albums. It's okay. It doesn't have to be a whole new show.
Sophomore album. We have to call it that.
Well, that's what it'll be. It'll be the subset. It'll be tabletop turntable sophomore albums or tracks on repeat.
Hey, you could always just
Oh, no,
steal
it's
the
skipping.
Fall Out Boy title, sophomore slump or comeback of the year type of deal.
Oh yeah.
Or B-side.
B-side. Yeah, I was gonna the tabletop turntable B-sides. Yeah, that was the other. I think that's a good idea. But regardless,
That's just cut for time, though.
we will definitely be revisiting this. This was super fun. Tomorrow night we will be starting our next track, Plague Bound. We're very excited to be playing that. And then this coming Sunday, we've got a one-shot, or Once Upon a One-Shot for October, playing Paragons. I know it's a Grimstone week here at the Grimstone House. It's always Grimstone week though, because it's the Grimstone House. Anyway, yeah. So come hang out because we got all kinds of content. And if you want to get involved, the Discord, hop in the Discord. If you want to play a game, you can play a game. We'll make it happen. Yeah, I got nothing.
You can run a game. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. We want to play new systems. That's our whole thing. So if you've got a system you want to see, let us know. You can drop it in the comments. You'll see the social screen at the end. Anybody got anything else?
But also, if you just love D&D, our main campaign still exists, and that's still
If I can shamelessly self-promote.
Of course.
No shame at all. Plug that shit.
If you also enjoy 5e, we've got a campaign that's been running for 5, almost 6 years now.
Wow.
The Medusa's Cascade. We've got the main campaign, which is Collateral Damage. We've got a prequel campaign that's monthly called Blood and Booze, and there is a second feed called The Mercurial Avengers, which is a spin-off with characters that were in Collateral Damage but are now doing their own thing while Collateral Damage is going down. So come check it out. We've got lore
Love it.
episodes, we've got recap episodes, we've got all sorts of stuff. I think Collateral Damage just put out episode 179.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you and I were chatting last, that was a milestone that was coming up.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're coming in on 200 here.
Yeah.
We started the
That's
campaign
crazy.
the month before COVID hit. That's how long
Wow.
this thing has been going. So
Wow, that's so impressive. So impressive. So be sure to check that out.
Where do we find it?
Oh, you can find it on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. The medusascascade.com has links to everything, all of the different episodes, character art, and backstories, and that sort of deal.
Rock and roll.
Heck yeah.
Sweet.
Well, be sure to check that out. Meg, we got anything else? All right. Well, for myself, Nick, Tom, Meg, James, and George, never stop playing.
Good night.
Good night.
Doodles.
Bye.